I unlocked the Magar Orcs, and I made a Resto Shaman. Mining, jewel crafting, fishing, and cooking were all capped within the week. Dedicated healer number 2. Like I said, like even if I was like already I wasn't gonna get the loot from like the Mythic Zeros, because we did like Mythic Zero tour every fucking time, like both weeks, and I'm like I would do that for everybody, and like that everybody would get on their alts, and then they would do that again, and I was like that I was one of 2 healers, so I'm like, oh, I got a fucking raid spot for sure. And I, confirmed as much. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for raid. And they're like, oh man, it's gonna be so fucking good. Nathria looks awesome. Like, I alpha tested it, I beta tested it. It looks fucking good. I want that sword at the end. Stone Legion's gonna be a bitch. Like, Kel'Thas, or what is it? Kael'thas is gonna be a nightmare. Raid night comes around. And it was literally like, I'm pretty sure it was like the Tuesday night that I unlocked. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like, let's do this. I had nothing but like I had my rep up to the point where I could make like the fucking best feasts that we could at the time. I went hard. Fucking hard. And just to give you an idea, there was probably about 120 or 140 feasts for raid night. Hi, made by yours truly. Roughly 1,000 of the green fish. Then like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 of each of the regular fish. 10 stack of every fucking type of gem already cut sitting in there. The legendary bits or whatever in there, like everything. Like I was fucking set. I threw all of that shit in the guild bank. I'm like, let's fucking go. Like it's for the boys. Like, we're gonna do this shit. Like, all so excited. I'm like, man, I can't fucking wait. If you sense an ominous tone to this, it's because it's correct. All right, it's raid time. Put a 1 in chat if you need an invite. Everybody throws a 1. I throw a 1. No invite comes. I type 1 again. No invite comes. I type in guild chat. Hey, I need an invite. No invite comes. Typed again. Nothing. Whispered an officer. Nothing. Then I go into Discord and realize that everybody's in another channel for raiding. So then I pop down there. And they're all chatting and whatever. I'm like, hey, can I get an invite? And the guildmaster's like, who's I? And I said my character name, and he's like, well, you see, the thing is, Nathria is really tough. And you're just not good enough gear-wise. But for the most part, all of this shit is like 184 to 200. So it's like roughly, like, it's you didn't need that much. Like, if you were walking around with mostly mythic dungeon gear, you'd be fine. So he's like, you don't have good enough gear. And if I take you, then I'm gonna have to add a whole lot of other people to this raid. And I just don't feel like putting up with that kind of bullshit. Then I just sat there, slack-jawed. I was completely in stunned disbelief that this had just happened after, like, I had been on voice comms with this dude for the past 3 weeks with most of the raid team for 3 weeks, getting to know them, leveling up alts, taking their alts, because this was the only character I was fucking working on, and I'm like, this is gonna be my guy this expansion. I go through that with the whole fucking 10-man team of raiders for 3 weeks, getting to know these people. They were all in that chat. They were all in that Discord channel. Not one fucking person spoke up and said a damn thing about it. Not one. He's like, well, if there's nothing else, and then he kicked me from the channel. To which I just sat there, like, I was legitimately getting fucking teary-eyed, because I have never been so completely blindsided by somebody who I feel like I had done nothing wrong. I had made every decision slightly correct. Because the whole point was, like, if I get to know them and play with people and, like, come out of my social coma, then maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to have a raid spot. And if anybody remembers, week 1 of Nathria had a bug where it dropped way more loot than it should have. And they blew through the whole fucking thing within a couple hours. Just one shot every fucking boss. You win. You fucking people win. All of you. All of the toxic bastards, all of the tryhards, all of the people who are like, oh, you're never going to be good enough, or you're not, you can't go, or you can't whatever. I'm like, fine. Fuck all of you then. I'm done. I'm done with it. So, he pulled all of the shit out that I had donated. And either moved it or put it in a different tab or whatever, but not only that, I had no privileges. None. None to the guild bank whatsoever. Like, completely just removed my privileges, because I'm like, well, if I did all of this work for the guild, like, they had all the fucking raid food they need. Not one other piece of shit actually fucking cooked. Nobody put in that effort. I did. I was the one that was putting up the fish. I was the one that was putting up the meat, making the feasts, making the food. Like, I did all of that shit. And I G quit. And the moment that I G quit, all of a sudden I start getting whispers from the other dudes in the chat, or the other dudes that were in the guild. Like, oh man, don't go. He's just like that sometimes. It's no big deal. And I replied to each and every fucking one of them. You did not stand up for me or even attempt to talk him into letting me go. Every one of you has the gear that you do because I was healing those dungeons. But I was the one that was there. I did all that fucking healing. I traded pieces of gear to you, so that way you could have them for your hunter. Or for your fucking shaman, or whatever. Here's the fucking gear. Here's the rings. Here's the trinkets. Here's the feasts. Here's the food. Here's the gems. I hope you enjoy your loot. And that was it. I transferred off the fucking server, and I'm like, I give up. And I legitimately, like, that was week 1 of Nathria. Week fucking 1. Then it just, no, somebody else decided that they would use me for everything they possibly fucking could. Threw me to the side. And by proxy, everybody else did too. In that guild. People I considered friends. So, Story time fucking over.